The fifth annual March for Jesus is coming up next Saturday, August 17th, and this may surprise you. In an often divisive culture, it's a group of local media folks who host the event. The goal is simple: to celebrate the unity shared by those who follow Jesus Christ.
Every praise is to our God. Sing hallelujah, to our God. Glory, hallelujah.
Jesus!
To our God.
Jesus! And Steve Swanson, our pal, is back to tell us more about the march that's coming up 11 days from now.
Hard to
Steve's
believe.
the general manager over at radio station WAFJ. It's 88.3 on your dial. Always great to have you here, Steve.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. You've been such an integral part of the March for Jesus. And I think what is so interesting is when we say in an often divisive culture, which, oh my gosh, when has our country been more divided like it is right now? And
Yeah.
so much of the blame is pointed, often rightly, at the media. Because there's this whole gray area of what is news and what isn't.
Yes.
But this is a group of local media folks, Christians in the media, and I want you to talk a little bit about that.
Sure. We got together obviously more than 5 years ago with the idea of just inviting believers from around the CSRA to have a place to come together and to be unified. Not the same. There's a big difference. We're not
Right.
asking everybody to look the same, act the same, worship the same, but we want to come together with what we have in common, and that's our unity of faith, Jesus the foundation. So we're here to gather together, meet people we wouldn't otherwise have the chance to meet, sing together, pray together for our city and our communities and our churches and our nation, and celebrate the fact we have a lot of things to celebrate for sure.
Right. That of course we have differences, but we have so much in common. And the idea of building on what we have in common.
Sure.
I think it's such a powerful event because, as you and I were talking about earlier, churches are the one place where there's still so much segregation in our communities.
And a lot of times we don't even think about that
We don't.
on a Sunday morning. We're worshiping and we're focused on that, and other churches are doing the same, but we do that in different ways. You know, some are very expressive, some are very quiet, traditional, and contemplative.
Right.
You know, they have the candles and all that, which is great. I grew up in that tradition. But once we all get together, and that's one of the reasons we have the variety of music we do,
Right.
to kind of represent a lot of these different spices that go into the mix of who we are as people, you know? And it's an amazing thing. We'll have, you know, people doing contemporary worship, we'll have people doing traditional worship, we'll have piano, we'll have a mime group out there.
Yes,
We'll
yes.
have a flag team out there. It's just an amazing blend and array of the believers here in this town. Now this doesn't just happen here, by the way. There are marches, and it's hard to know what to call them. You can't really call it a walk for Jesus. That doesn't make sense. A march implies that we're protesting.
Yep.
We're not doing that at all.
Right.
We're here
Right.
to celebrate together. That's the whole purpose of gathering. But these kind of gatherings are still happening in countries like Brazil, most recently France. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people taking to the streets to say, we just want to pause
Yeah.
and be unified and focus together, again, on what we have in common, our faith.
Well, you're a part of it along with Dorothy Spalding's TV station.
TV 49,
And Brighton Entertainment.
Brighton Entertainment, WUCC, which is out of Aiken. It's 99.9. There's a young gentleman by the name of R.S. Brown that does a Real Talk for Teens show.
Yeah.
He's involved in this as well.
Right.
So it's a good cross-section of people, and
And-
also AM 1380. I don't want to forget them.
You get a great cross section of ages as well.
Yes.
You know, there are people there from wheelchairs to, well, strollers to wheelchairs.
Absolutely,
You know.
whole families.
It's-
and that's what it's designed for,
It's
including
terrific.
a kids zone.
We want to show you some video that we have from previous years as we're talking. Thousands of people, like we're saying, from this wide cross section of our community have taken part in 4 years. Can you believe 5 years now it's
No.
coming up?
It's amazing.
You have, one of the things that's going on this year is Orrin Hudson, who is
Yes.
a chess master. And how does he play into this?
Well, he shares his faith in a very unique way. A chess master obviously is an expert at chess. And he teaches kids especially about making decisions, having a plan, and how that integrates in their lives in every part of their life. So I can't wait to meet him. He's going to actually have an area on the Commons where he's going to play chess with kids.
Oh, that's terrific.
He'll have some time on the platform as well to share part of his story.
His testimony,
And
yeah.
his faith comes out through his expertise in chess.
Speaking of the kids and what he'll be doing, you do have the Kids Zone, which
We
is
do.
a popular,
Very, very
yes,
popular. Yes.
And you have food vendors, and you can see in the video there. I mean, just the throngs of people that march down Broad, and then it culminates in the Common, and then this whole celebration goes on with singers and the flag dancers, like you were saying, and just this big worship. It'll go on until noon. One of the things that we want to show you that is different this year, you see
Yes.
all the purple in the past. This year, take a look at this. The
bright,
shirts
isn't it?
are orange, and
Notice the purple's still there.
the purple is still there.
Royalty.
But I had to hold this up because I'm wearing an orange dress. Steve said, I don't know if you want to show this or not. I'm like, oh, what? Because I wore the rare color orange? Yes, we're going to. But there's a little addition too that I want
Yes.
you to explain, and that's the cross that's
Absolutely.
been added here. What's that about?
We have an emphasis this year on the persecuted church, and a lot of reports from organizations like Open Doors USA, Open Doors International. They're tracking the persecution of Christians specifically, and it's horrific, the things that are happening around the world. So one of our emphasis this year is on the persecuted church. That's why the color, that's the reason,
Yep.
and also the cross. And we're also, as people gather for the march, we're going to hand out flags, stickers, from 10 of the countries where the persecution is the worst,
Really? Oh, that's
as
really
a
great.
reminder to pray specifically for the believers in that country.
Oh, that's really, really
and we have
good.
a speaker from Open Doors that'll be part
That'll
of the
be
event
there
as
as well. Let's show you real quick the date and the details again
Please.
about the March for Jesus, the 5th annual march coming up on Saturday, the 17th of August. Stevie said the gathering is at 8 o'clock, like
Yes.
at Curtis Baptist
That's
Church,
right.
and then the march actually starts at 8:30 down Broad Street. As we said, it goes on until noon with musicians, the Kids Zone, food vendors. Whole lots of fun. But something else is coming up in August, and that is the release of the Kendrick Brothers' new movie, Overcomer. We've both seen it. It's very good.
And it's hard to talk about it without giving the storyline. But
Right.
We can. We can. The whole genre of faith-based films is exploding. There are studios that are specifically geared toward the family of faith. People that want to go to a movie, they want to be inspired, they want to be encouraged, they want to walk out feeling hopeful instead of depressed. And that's
Yeah.
what these movies are designed to do. And these folks have been doing it since 2006. And they're based out of Albany, Georgia, of all places.
That's just the craziest
Sherwood Baptist
thing.
Church.
What did we say? 06 was when the first
Facing
one
the
came
Giants.
out, Facing the Giants, which was like the football
That's
themed
right.
movie. And it, oh my gosh, it was such a big deal. And then War Room, when it came out, and it dominated at the box office.
And that's the thing. It's getting people's attention because of the popularity of these films continues to grow, as well as the number of films, the quality of the film. Because once you have money to reinvest, and you have the
Yeah.
expertise that's developed by all the people involved, the screenwriters, the storytellers. I mean, they don't rush out and make a movie every year. It's been 4 years
Sure.
since their last one. So they craft every detail. They pause and pray during the scenes for
Yeah.
each scene that'll have the kind of impact that the Lord desires
right.
it to have. But the movies are fun. The Kendrick brothers know how to take a serious subject and give you a little relief. You know, a lot of
They
movies,
do.
they just kind of,
They do. It's
you're pushed all the way through.
you're laughing and you're crying in the
Mm-hmm.
movie, and that's so great. And I think you said something that is so true.
What's that?
You feel inspired when it's
Yes.
over. It's the kind of movie when it's you just kind of want to hug the people that you're sitting with at the end of the movie.
There you
because,
go.
Because it's just a feel good movie, and I think you're right. I think that people crave that.
Well, the whole theme of this movie, I can tell you this, is about identity. Who are we? Where do we find our identity? And there are several different characters, main characters in the movie, that struggle with that very question. But they do a good job of answering that as well through the course of the story. I love the stories they tell because they're heart stories and
Right.
they're family stories.
That's true.
So you walk
That's
away
true.
again feeling enriched in your faith, thinking more about the theme, whatever it was, and then telling other people they need to see it too.
Well, I can't encourage you enough to make sure that you go see it. And if you have a youth group or whatever, it's perfect to take your youth groups to. It's called Overcomer, and it comes out the 23rd
That's
of
correct.
August.
Yes, ma'am.
So be sure and look for it here. And the more support this kind of movie has, the more they'll
Absolutely,
make
and the
them.
first weekend is really crucial because that can open up more theaters and more people can see it and more people will see it then. So that first weekend, if you can see it that first weekend,
Yeah.
it really helps.
Yep. Well, thank you for what you do in the community, as
much.
always. It's so great to have that bright shining light over in North Augusta, which we can count on for really good, our good news station.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
25 years this year.
Absolutely. What a big anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Steve Swanson, you're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Coming up on Jenny,